Everybody, Rich with Prep You, hanging out in my car. I know this is a really weird location for me to make in a video right now. But I just happened to be at high school and last days of school, almost out for the summer. And it's been an interesting day to say the least. I hesitated making this video, but I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are in the same situation as I am. Not so much a teacher, but being a firearm owner and friends of yours that aren't firearm owners. They don't understand why you're a firearm owner, why you like firearms and all that kind of stuff. So after a morning of having to explain this to all the people here at school, which there are a lot of, saying that, you know, people like me or the NRA or people like you are the reason, you know, for this gun culture in America and stuff like that, I figured I should make this video. Just for me, for you, for anybody that is being inundated by having to explain why they like to go to the range or why they like to hunt and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make this video and get this out, because I know a lot of you are, you know, it's a heavy heart that we talk about today, that something that we enjoy doing, that somebody, an evil person went out there and caused not only the Texas tragedy, but also the one in Buffalo, New York, and all the others before, and all the others that are going to come, because nothing is going to stop these things. You know, what happened in New York and Texas is absolutely horrible. My thoughts and prayers are with the families that lost children, the families that have children that are traumatized for the rest of your life, or just people that know these people that lost kids. It's, you know, my heart goes out to all of them, and I feel horrible for them, you know. But beyond that, when you discuss firearms with people, don't fall into the premise that this is the gun's fault. It's not the gun's fault. We all know it's not the gun's fault. You know, severe and specific mental illness and evil exist in this world, okay? Individuals with no regard for their lives, other lives, exist in this world. We see it every day in the streets of Chicago with all the shootings there. You know, people say, you know, where is your God now? Well, God has nothing to do with this, except for the fact that maybe we need to get more God in our lives, in some people's lives. You know, God gave us free will, the ability to think, the ability to act, and 99% of us act correctly. They act appropriately, but the 1% that are out there, the people that, you know, are not in their right mind, or people that are just evil, it's gonna happen. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, think about it this way. If these evil individuals perpetrated their attacks with a hammer, with a knife, with an SUV, like the individual did in Wisconsin, would we blame the object, or would we blame the individual? You got to think about it that way. You know, it also took no time for the politicians to blame the gun industry, because that's their scenario. That's what they want to do. And that's not where the blame lies. You know, why does no one blame the politicians for pulling all the funds away from mental illness research and, you know, care and stuff like that? I know here in the state of Illinois, they've dropped and keep dropping money for mental health constantly. You know, the other thing is, there's always indicators. How many times have you heard after an incident like this, people will say, oh, I know that kid was disturbed, or that guy he acted weird. He was a loner. He was always to himself. You know, there was always something weird about him, you know, and more information will come out about these people, and the same thing's going to be said about them. You know, I refuse to acknowledge the premise that it is the firearms' fault, it's the NRA's fault, the gun lobby's fault. It's not. It is the fault of the person that pulled the trigger. Now, was he enabled? Were they enabled? Did somebody get him the firearms? Did somebody make a mistake at a firearms store? Well, they should be held accountable also. You know, I can put a fully loaded firearm round in the chamber, safety off, on a table, and nothing's ever going to happen until someone picks that firearm up and fires it. That makes it the individual's fault for doing it. It has nothing to do with the firearm. You know, and there's more information, and it will come out about the evil people that committed these acts and acts that are going to come in the future. We will find out if they acted alone or not, how they got their firearms, legally or illegally, and more information about their mental state and whether people knew that this could have been stopped. It is not the time to politicize this. It really isn't. This is not the time to have argument. It's the time to grieve and pray for the families. And we all do. We're human. Most of us think this is horrific. I think 99% of us think this is horrific and shouldn't have happened. And it probably, I shouldn't say probably, but it will also come out about what were the security measures at the school. We are not securing our schools well enough. If there was a politician's kid at that school, I know, on a soapbox, I bet there would have been a lot more protection in that school. Single entry, whatever. Armed teachers also helped. Armed teachers that have the skill and the care. You know, we've also heard a lot about people, you know, former military, former police, former people in the gun industry, you know, volunteering their times at schools. Maybe that's another example. But please, just pray for the people, you know, and please don't accept the premise that these events are anyone's fault except for the person that pulled the trigger, because that's whose fault there are. More information will come out, as it always does, and we'll contemplate, you know, banning assault weapons or banning this or taking that away. But it really comes down to, and we here in Cook County, Illinois, know very well that firearms and the laws that are out there for firearms just are not enforced. They are plea bargained away. Those that commit a crime with a firearm are out of jail and out back on the street before the police officer can ever get his report done. Is that right? No. People that commit multiple offenses, people that have items in their past are getting away with more because of no cash bail. And there's all kinds of things that could be done. Enforce the laws that are on the books, grieve for those who have lost today, and we will figure this out in the future. But please, don't accept the premise that it was the gun's fault. Thanks a lot. Take care.